Hello and welcome to Newswarm. I'm your host Chris with the CHRILLCAST, and today we're going to be delving into a topic that's probably going to make a lot of people, or at least a few people, a little angry. But we're going to talk about why I don't like the Legend of Zelda: The Breath of the Wild. And I think once you hear me out, you'll understand. I don't think any game like this would be on the top of my list. And just for all the naysayers, yes, I understand that the original Legend of Zelda was going for a similar style of gameplay to Breath of the Wild. Trust me, I've played it on multiple versions. The original is Legend of Zelda. I've played it on my GameCube. This disc right here, the promotional disc, had the 4 ones, had the Legend Zelda 1 and 2, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I understand, yes. And I'm currently on a playthrough on my Game & Watch. So, anyways, I have played the original. I understand this is kind of a fulfillment of a dream of what Zelda was originally envisioned to be. Okay, I understand. Now that you know this background, I've played the original. I've played a lot of the Zelda games. In fact, I've played many of them multiple times. This one being my favorite of the 2D Zelda games. It's Link to the Past. It's a really fantastic game. And then with the 3D games, my favorite one is probably, well, it's Majora's Mask. Hands down. Majora's Mask is my favorite, but this is my second favorite, Wind Waker. Now, the reason why I don't like Breath of the Wild, and it took me a while to kind of figure this out. Same with Halo Infinite, actually, is the same reason I have a hard time with that game. I feel like there's too many distractions. Not that you can't have distractions and have a good game. There's plenty of distractions in this game. There's plenty of distractions in, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. There's plenty of distractions. In fact, I think there's too many distractions in the Skyward Sword. Plenty of distractions in Twilight Princess. Plenty of distractions in Wind Waker HD. Although Wind Waker HD did a really good job of streamlining some of my complaints with Wind Waker on the GameCube. There's a lot of distractions in this game, like the pictograph box, and side quests, etc., etc. So this one's kind of its own thing. I really like the original Twilight Princess quite a bit. I know the art style is dated at this point because it doesn't scale up well, but I still like it. I got this one, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. This is kind of a rough shape copy. When I ordered it, I couldn't tell from the pictures that it was in rough shape, but it works. It is what it is. But I'm definitely the type of person that likes and plays Zelda. So why don't I like Breath of the Wild? So from the onset of playing this game, I opened up the game, started playing it, going through it, and it just didn't do it for me. I'll be honest with you. Let's see, Breath of the Wild opening sequence. So I passed, got through it. I tried the game. I get off the Great Plateau. And as I'm playing it, I'm like, okay, so where do I need to go? There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing that kind of points you in the right direction, that tells you where you need to go, what you need to do. I don't feel like there's a clear objective to the game. Yeah, I could find one. I could go through a walkthrough, a bunch of guides, find where I'm supposed to go in this game, but that's not why I play Zelda. I like Zelda because it kind of prods you along, kind of guides you where you need to go. It doesn't give you the exact answer, but it kind of gives you a decent idea of what you're supposed to do next. And if you get lost, you can usually figure yourself out. Breath of the Wild doesn't do that, and I wasn't used to that style of game for Legend of Zelda, other than the original, obviously, which I've played. But and then weapons. Okay, that's my second complaint. We've never had a Zelda game where your weapons break down. Like, that's just not a thing. And that's probably my biggest annoyance with the physical fighting in the game is I don't like the weapon the weapon health, essentially, the weapon degradation, where you have to constantly be swapping weapons out, because I constantly find myself in a battle and it's like, oh nope, that broke, oh that broke, oh that broke. It's like, that's not a really good gameplay loop, in my opinion, is go hunt for a new weapon every 5 minutes, which is where I'm at with the new game. I want to be able to fight these enemies and not have to constantly scramble for a new weapon. It's not exciting for me. And then the elemental damage, like, that can exist, but there's like absolutely no warning when it's going to hit. other than the terrain might change a little bit. And the first time I stumbled into one of these terrains that was different and I started taking damage, I was like, what? And letting you go everywhere is cool. Don't get me wrong. But in that case, it wasn't very cool to find out, oh crap, I'm in this area that I literally can't survive in. And it's just not for me. This is not for me. If Breath of the Wild 2 is the same way, probably not going to get it. It'll be one of the first times I ever don't buy a Zelda game on purpose. Versus I just didn't have the console at the time. I just didn't have what this or that at the time and didn't buy it. But this is probably the only Zelda game that I just can't find myself finishing. I just don't like it as much as I liked every previous Zelda game. Even the original one I like better than Breath of the Wild. And if that's an unpopular opinion, then so be it. But I just don't care for Breath of the Wild. That's where I'm at. So hopefully we get something good with Breath of the Wild 2 and I can change my mind and we can really get into it and enjoy it. But I just don't like this direction that Zelda is headed in. And I hope we stop seeing this open world applied to every gaming franchise, because it is so frustrating to see it happen to every franchise on planet Earth. It seems like everybody is going away from mission-based, story-based, objective-based to straight up collectathons and open worlds, and it doesn't work for every single game. I mean, obviously Breath of the Wild was a smash hit success, so there's enough people that do like it. But I don't. So that's where I'm at. And if you guys agree with me, comment down below. If you don't agree with me, that's fine too. Comment down below. Like this video, dislike this video, whatever you want to do. That's how the YouTube works. Subscribe. See y'all later.